Good afternoon and welcome to the midday news on Global TV. We're live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I'm Kemi Ashekun. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has called on President Bola Tinubu and his vice, Kashim Shettima, to take a cue from the late President Umar Yar'Adua by publicly declaring their assets as a demonstration of their determination to lead by example. The PDP says declaring their financial and material worth before Nigerians publicly will set a good example for other political office holders. The PDP, through its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, said it was not enough for the president to fill asset declaration forms and return same to the Code of Conduct Bureau just to fulfill the requirements of the law. The federal government has said it will consider the list of demands from the Trade Union Congress, TUC, which includes raising the minimum wage and offering workers tax holidays. This was disclosed after a meeting between parties at Aso Villa in Abuja. Tessie Otung of Global TV reports.
Speaking to State House correspondents after a meeting between the federal government and the TUC, which lasted for about 3 hours, the spokesperson for the federal government, Dele Alake, said that it will also look at the practicability of the demands. Among things the government is considering is tax holidays for workers. Alake said that most fundamentally, President Bola Tinubu will constitute a tripartite committee to include state and organized labor and the private sector to study the dynamics of the minimum wage augmentation to reach an amicable conclusion.
The most important is the minimum wage, that is increase of minimum wage, because when this thing is removed, the argument of labor is that there is an immediate impact on the workers, on the purchasing power, because price of fuel has gone up. So that would necessarily reduce the purchasing power of the average worker. So the next thing of immediate consequence is to increase the purchasing power of the worker. And so that, to me and to all of us on this side, is the topmost priority on the list. There are other things like the tax holidays, which will be some categories of workers will be beneficiaries.
According to Alake, there is no disagreement with the Nigeria Labour Congress over their demand for a review of the minimum wage or a return to the status quo, noting that the federal government representatives will meet with the president to crystallize decisions on the demands. He added that the absence of the NLC does not translate to an isolation of the group in the discussion, but that the federal government is making efforts to reach them as the parties agree to reconvene on Tuesday, 24 hours before a scheduled strike by the NLC.
We are making efforts to reach NLC. We all agreed that we were going to meet here, but again, in this game, there are dynamics. Sometimes they could be meeting with their own executive and not able to meet with us, or they could want to postpone, or they have not actually articulated their own list of demands as the TUC. But we cannot second guess why they're not here. But efforts are being made to reach them.
Meanwhile, the TUC has maintained that the federal government, in the interest of social dialogue, revert the price of fuel while discussions continue.
When they presented the items to us on Wednesday, we told them that we're going back to our principals. So that they also need to touch base with Mr. President so that we will convene this meeting again on Tuesday. So we've, and topmost in our demand was clearly stated as well that for utmost good faith and in the interest of social dialogue, that they should revert back the pump price while discussion continues.
Tessie Otung reporting for Global TV.
The 9th National Assembly, which was inaugurated on the 11th of June 2019, will wind down this week. The House of Representatives will hold its valedictory session on Tuesday, while the Senate will have its own on Wednesday. The President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, is expected to adjourn sitting at the Red Chamber indefinitely, while the Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, will close the Green Chamber on Thursday. On the same day, Gbajabiamila hinted at the schedule of activities for the week. The 10th Assembly is billed for inauguration on the 13th of June 2023, when a new set of presiding officers will either be adopted or re-elected. Zamfara State Police Command has disclosed it's rescued 9 children abducted by bandits from the Goranamaya community in Maradun local government area of the state. The command's public relations officer, ASP Yazid Abubakar, made the disclosure in a statement issued in Gusau. The police spokesperson added that the command has already reunited the victims with their families unconditionally. It will be recalled that bandits on Saturday attacked some communities in the same Maradun local government area, killing some innocent persons. You're watching the Midday News on Global TV, coming to you live on Star Times channel 276 from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. You can follow us across social media platforms at Global TV NG. More stories coming your way after this break. Do stay with us. Non-members of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, have agreed to cut crude oil production volumes in order to ensure global oil market stability, but allowed Nigeria, Congo, and Angola to continue to produce maximally to their OPEC quota of 2023. Saudi Arabia, a major oil producer and key member of OPEC, made an additional voluntary cut of 1 million barrels of oil per day as part of a deal struck by OPEC Plus after hours of tense haggling. Nigeria and other OPEC and non-OPEC members met at the 35th Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee meeting of OPEC held in Vienna, Austria on Sunday. The Nigerian head of the delegation to the meeting said in a statement that OPEC had also agreed to allow these countries to continue to produce maximally to their OPEC quota of 2023. And still in business, the Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, has expressed its determination to deepen and diversify the capital market in a bid to create more wealth for investors and Nigerians, as well as stimulate economic growth. Director General of SEC, Mr. Lamido Yuguda, said in a bid to develop the market, they saw the need to have a forum where the Commission could interface with issuers in a bid to discourage delisting, hereby engaging the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, NECA, and setting up the Securities Issuers Forum. Yuguda said that the Commission is working hard to look at the various issues and ensure that the problem of delisting by companies is brought under check. And we move on now to the world of sports, as the head coach of the Flying Eagles, Ladan Boso, has refused to blame his players after they were eliminated from the ongoing 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Argentina. The Flying Eagles dominated the match but fell to the axe in the hands of Taegwoek Warriors of Korea in extra time. The gaffer praised his players for their impressive performance in the game. Boso, however, claims the Flying Eagles were poor in converting their chances. South Korea will now face Italy on Thursday. 35-year-old Real Madrid forward Karim Benzema has reached an agreement and will sign a 2-year deal with reigning Saudi Pro League champions Al Ittihad. The former France international joined Spanish heavyweight champion Real Madrid from his hometown club Leon in 2009 and has made 658 appearances, scoring 354 goals in the process. The former Leon striker scored a second-half penalty to earn Madrid a draw in the final league match of the season against Atletico Bilbao on Sunday, and finishes the season with 31 goals and 6 assists in 43 games in all competitions. An institutional act of homage and farewell has been scheduled to hold tomorrow at Real Madrid Sports City for the current Ballon d'Or champion, and club president Florentino Perez has been reported to attend. First Bank of Lagos and IGP Queens, also of Lagos, will clash today at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin. The two high-flying teams in the ongoing preliminaries for the National Women League have been dominating their opponents so far in the competition, and only 8 of the 16 teams playing in Benin will qualify to compete in the National Women Basketball Elite League. The clash today is a big test and a very dicey one for both sides, as they have both recorded 3 wins so far, respectively, and are aiming for the 4th. And that's all for the Midday News on Global TV, live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on Star Times channel 276, and you can follow us across social media platforms at Global TV NG. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kemi Ashekun. Good afternoon and see you at 4.
On West Africa's Atlantic coast, the former British colony of Ghana became infamous for its involvement in the transatlantic slave trade, and also for its abundant reserves of gold, which is why the English called it the Gold Coast. The country is rich in raw materials such as oil, which was recently discovered in the region, and, above all, cocoa. Ghana is the world's second biggest producer of cocoa, but despite the plentiful resources, they rarely benefit Ghanaians themselves. Resourcefulness has become a necessity. For some people, white gold has replaced yellow. They're not aiming to get rich, they're merely trying to survive. Ghana means warrior king, a fitting